Hello and welcome to this creative music app workshop. My name's Sam and I'm here to show you how you can create your own music using a smartphone or a tablet. In this video, we're going to take a look at the app GarageBand. GarageBand is an amazingly powerful music creation tool. There are so many things we can do with it to make our own music. This app is only available for iOS, so if you're an Android user, take a look at the video about Medley. That's rather similar, but a good one for Android users. Okay, let's get started. Have fun. So let's take a look at the app GarageBand. GarageBand is only available for iOS, so you can only use this one on your iPhone or your iPad. To get the app, go to your App Store, search for GarageBand, and download the app. The first thing you might need to do is hit plus, create song. Now, GarageBand is an amazingly powerful piece of music creation software. There are actually quite a lot of hit songs on the radio that are made using GarageBand. What it allows us to do is create a whole piece of music. We've got loads of choices for different instruments and ways we can create it. So what we're going to cover in this video is just scratching the surface. Anyway, the first thing that you'll see is all these different choices for ways you can start your song. Strings, guitars, audio, amps, drums and a keyboard. We're going to start with the drums. Now there are 3 ways to create drums on GarageBand: smart drums, acoustic drums, and the beat sequencer. We're just going to have a look at the smart drums now, but if you enjoy using GarageBand, make sure you experiment with the others as well. So just press smart drums, and that's going to bring up GarageBand. Here we have our smart drums. It's a grid. At the top we have loud, at the bottom we have quiet, to the left we have simple, and to the right we have complex. Here we have all the different sounds from a drum kit, the kick and the snare, claps, hi-hats, etc. In order to create my beat, I just click on my sound that I'd like and I drag it onto the grid. I can have my kick drum loud and complex or simple and quiet. When I let go, I'll hear what it sounds like. That's loud and complex, but you can have the opposite, quiet and simple. Now I want my kick drum quite loud and complicated, so I'm going to put it there. Now I want to add my snare, so I just click my snare and I add that to my grid. I'm going to keep that one a bit simpler to the left-hand side. That sounds great. Now I want to add my hi-hats a little bit quieter and maybe just in the middle in complexity. Okay, that's my beat. That's how quick and easy it is to create a beat using the smart drums in GarageBand. In order to change the sound, or change your grid here, you can hit the hip-hop drum machine symbol and change it to something else. I'm going to try the live rock kit. Add your sounds back to the grid, and I have a very different sounding beat this time. When you're happy with your beat, hit the record button at the top, the red circle. It'll give you a counting and then just record your beat. You can actually change your beat while it's recording to add a little bit of interest. I'm going to add in a shaker at this point. Okay, and that's recorded now. I can just listen back to my loop of drums. Sounding great. Now we're going to have to add something else. We're going to need a pitched instrument, something that creates music. So I'm going to hit the plus button here, and I'm going to go to the keyboard. I'm going to use the Alchemy synth. That's the one in the middle, so press that. That'll bring up a synthesizer. Now a synthesizer is a machine that makes sound. It's a sound creation machine. We have a keyboard here, so we can play our synthesizer just like we would a piano. You can change the sound you have. This is the name of the sound here, Epic Cloud Formation. I'm going to change it to Endless Beauty because that sounds very nice. Choose your sound and press done. Now, when you're experimenting with this, I recommend you just use the white keys on the keyboard here because they all sound nice together. You can try playing more than one note at a time to see what kind of sounds you can create. So I'm going to record over the top of my drum beat some chords, that's more than one note played at a time, over my drum beat. I'm going to hit the record button here and then play. So I'm just holding 3 notes at a down at a time for my chords, and it'll play it back to me after I've finished. Now I can play with the sound using the parameters here. See what type of crazy sounds you can come up with. Now I've got my beat and my chords, I've got to add the tune to my song, a melody. So I'm going to add another track with the plus button, and this time I'm going to try the guitar. I'm going to try the notes guitar in the middle. There's 3 ways of entering the guitar, just like with the drums, and you can just hit notes in the middle because that'll pull up a playable guitar on the iPad. This is a guitar neck. It's as if it was flat down here. And we can play the guitar like it's a real guitar. Now I'm going to try and create a tune, a melody for my song using this guitar. I'm going to rehearse just by pressing the play button and experimenting. So I've got 4 notes that I like there that I think sound good. So I'm going to go ahead and improvise with them. I'm going to make it up on the spot. I'm going to hit record. I'll get a 4 count in. Now you'll notice there you can also bend the strings, like it was a real guitar. Now I've got my 3 tracks, my drums, my chords on my synthesizer, and my guitar melody. So I'm really happy with what I've created there. Now there is one more thing I want to show you. We're going to add one more track to our song. So we hit the plus button. You can move this up and down if you can't quite see the plus button. And this time we're going to go to audio recording. And I'm going to press the voice button here. And that's going to allow me to record my voice into my song. Now make sure it's on the fun button here. You have a studio version and you have fun as well. So you need to point your iPad towards the sound you want to record, tap the record button to begin. So the record button is at the top here. I'm going to press that and it's going to record the sound of my voice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was obviously just me counting. And you can listen back by pressing the play button. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the fun bit is when I start pressing these buttons down here, I can change the sound of my voice. For example, to a robot. I'm going to turn it up a little bit here. You can also change your voice to the sound of a squirrel.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So once you've got your drums, your chords, and your melody, try adding your voice, but try experimenting with some of these crazy ways you can change it. Now, we've really only scratched the surface with GarageBand there, so make sure you have a really good experiment with this one and see what you can come up with. There are many, many, many different ways of adding tracks to our songs that we haven't gone through in this video. So make sure you take a little bit of time to have an experiment with this one and see what you can come up with. Once you've come up with something that you really like, you've got to save your work so you don't lose it. You can use the little icon in the top left here, and that will save your work to your iPad. Good luck.